it's Josephine from the Pointe shop. Today I'm fitting Izzy, who is our senior model of 2022. She won our model search back in March. We're gonna have another one next year, so watch out for that announcement. And we're gonna be doing a pointe shoe fitting, and you're having some issues with your pointe shoes right now, right?
Yeah, on my right shoe, I think it might be the way I sew them, but there's a little extra shoe right here, so it looks like it's twisting.
Okay, so it looks spongy.
All my teachers have said that the box is like too much, and it looks like it's too wide for my foot, or like it's like eating up my foot.
Yeah, so if you look at Izzy's feet, she is very shallow, so she doesn't have a lot of fat on the top of her foot. And then you can see that she has very short toes as well. So we're gonna try to make her feet look a little bit more sleek. And it's quite difficult to do that with pointe shoes when your feet are this shallow and small, and a lot of shoes are just gonna have just way too much material. We're gonna put on her pointe shoes that she's currently in. Izzy is a very high level dancer in training, and usually at this point in her career, we start to look for more aesthetic changes as well. So when you're younger, I'm really looking more at functionality of the pointe shoe. I want the shoe to be able to function well on your feet, and that's the most important. And obviously that's still important, but when you get to this level, you're at Milwaukee Ballet, yes? So she's a trainee at Milwaukee Ballet. I think in terms of what the shoe does for your feet, it's fine, right? It's easy to dance in, it's easy to balance in. We're just trying to figure out a way to make it a little bit more sleek. You can see that her feet look very different in pointe shoes. This is not much fabric at all. It still looks kind of chunkier on her foot. It's not a problem when she's dancing, it just doesn't look as good. It is breaking a little bit lower. A little bit of fabric bunching. So what we're going to do is try a more tapered shoe. When you're going from a squared shoe to a tapered shoe, your balance changes a little bit. Some people can't even tell the difference. Some people, it'll affect them a lot. So we want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to get used to it before you do any performances or auditions or anything. So this one is a little bit more sleek. Demi-plie. Is there pressing anywhere?
No.
Great. Straighten. Bring your left foot up on pointe. Beautiful. So there's a little bit less fabric on this shoe because it has the V cut and it's a little bit more tapered. It makes the lines look a little bit longer. This looks really pretty on you though.
I can feel a little bit of my Achilles in these.
Yeah, on the left one?
On the right.
On the right?
Yeah.
You feel like it's too far over?
No, like the straining.
Let me try one other shoe. So Izzy has a pretty big difference between her left and her right. Usually the left one is a little bit too far over, so it puts a lot of stress on her metatarsal, especially her second metatarsal. And then the right one is actually pulled back a little bit more, so she has a little bit more strain in her Achilles. I think the best course of action for Izzy is to do two different shoes, two different shanks. Put a slightly softer shank on the right one to help her push her over a little bit more, and then a slightly harder one on the left side so it pulls her up a little bit more. So we're trying to make the shoes a little bit more even so that she is better aligned. So we're sticking with the same model, but sometimes I'll put dancers in entirely different models as well. Okay, that's beautiful. So this is actually softer on that side and then harder on this one. Again, you can't really tell when we're just stepping up on pointe, but when she's in class, she'll feel a big difference because as her Achilles starts to tighten, she starts to pull herself back a little bit more. Do you feel like the sizing is okay on the right one?
Yeah, it feels
okay?
good.
Okay, good. Do you feel like your Achilles is hurting at all? Okay, that's amazing. If you have Achilles problems or anything in the back of your ankle, it depends on the dancer that you are. Some dancers, they feel less pain when they're in a harder shoe because they need more support. And some dancers feel less pain when you're in a softer shoe. So you have to figure out what kind of dancer you are. It's not always the same. For Izzy, the softer shoe actually hurts less. So we're going to put her in the softer shank on the right one, a slightly harder shoe on the left, and you usually break your left shoe a lot faster, right? So the other upside to this is that she'll break her shoes a little bit more evenly, and it'll take a little bit longer for her to break down her pointe shoes. We have an event for the Pointe Shop model every year around March, and we're opening applications at the beginning of the year. So if you're interested in applying to become one of our models or ambassadors, look out for that application, and I'll see you guys soon.